Wojak is one of the OG crypto meme coins, and it's not even that large. It's less than $100 million in market cap, but the price has doubled in the last month alone. Now let's have a look at how much longer this rally can last. Let's have a look at some on-chain metrics most people are not considering. So here we are currently at 0.1 cents per Wojak token, and the price went up by 110% in the last month. Most of those gains happened just in the last few days. We've got 45,000 followers on Twitter or on the X platform, 9,000 subscribers to the Telegram, and on chain we have 19,000 holders. So the numbers somewhat align. It is surprising though that there's more Twitter followers than holders on chain. This can be explained though with the liquidity on centralized exchanges. Not all of Wojak is held directly on chain on Ethereum. In fact, the majority of trading happens in those black boxes. We've got Gate.io, we've got Maxi, we've got Bitmart, and BitGet and HTX is part of the party as well. Now let's have a look at the retail investor versus the whale investor. So on the left side, we've got the number of wallets that hold at least 1 million Wojak tokens. So at the current price, that's a bit over $1,000. And this tended to go down up until the middle of October of last year. Then we subsequently had a recovery. In the middle, we go at 10x in minimum holding compared to the left chart. So that's now a minimum holding of $10,000 worth of the token. On the right, another 10x, so a minimum of $100,000 worth of the token. We see that turnaround pretty much everywhere in October of last year. The growth rate is slightly different though. So the number of retail investors grew by roughly 50%. The number of whale investors grew slightly less. Now what happened in the last month where the price more than doubled? Here are the same kind of charts, but just for the last month. We see accumulation across the board, and especially the whales, they tended to have bought the most. They increased by roughly 10%. The number of retail investors only grew by roughly 3%. Now, especially for meme coins, it's important that the number of investors overall is growing with time, right? The more people invest in a token, the higher the price can go. And I like to look at the relationship between new investors and returning investors over time. And there is something very interesting for Wojak here. Check this out. On the left side, we see the number of new investors on Ethereum every day. And this shot up on the 7th and 8th of October. On the right side, we've got the fraction of new users relative to returning users, and that peaked also on the 8th of October. Now the 9th of October isn't yet over, so we can't really say anything about that data point, but it seems as if in the last 48 hours a lot of attention from new outsiders came onto the token. Now here is how that happened. This is the 7th of October, and we see how this started a rally quite a bit. And this is no surprise, right? New investors again means an expanding base, means again rising prices. And usually those rallies last for longer than just 2 days. I've looked at those kind of charts for many different altcoins over quite a long period of time, and usually when we see a lot of new investors jumping in, that also means that the price continues to rise for at least a week or so. Now unfortunately there is one effect that we can't really quantify and that potentially overhangs this rally, and that's the ownership by centralized exchanges. The largest holder of the token is Gate.io, the second largest is Maxi, the third largest is BitGet. And unfortunately the balances of those centralized exchanges is not necessarily growing. Over here is the largest wallet, this is the second largest, and this is the third largest. We are either going sideways or even down. Now how much impact does this have potentially on the price? Let's check again Gate.io. Here's the cold storage wallet of Gate.io. They've got 5.7 million worth of Wojak. And when we look at the liquidity pools on chain on Ethereum, the largest of the pools has only 5.6 million. And that's half wrapped Ethereum, the other half Wojak. In other words, if Gate.io was to drop all of their holdings, then the price of Wojak would easily fall by 75% or more. So there is risk, but there's also new investors coming in, and there is potential upside as well, because again, the market cap of Wojak isn't really large. Wojak has a market cap of only 75 million, and it's very small compared to other meme coins. If Wojak was to double, it would be at a similar level to Mudeng. If it was to triple, it would be close to the Mega Trump token or to APU. And even if it was to 4x, we'd still barely beat the the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Eno token. By the way, I made a video on that token as well recently. So there is interest across the board for Wojak now. Both retail and the whales are buying. If the centralized exchanges don't decide to suddenly dump on retail, then I do believe a multiple X from here is very much possible. I publish videos on this channel regularly on various meme coins. If you don't want to miss the next ones, feel free to subscribe regularly. A like, of course, would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. In case you've got Telegram, then you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below. There's also a link for premium down below. This is where you can get access to the tools that are used in this video. The website has an explainer video with all the tutorials, all the tools that are available for premium.